But in the meantime, in the between time, I'm going to give some shots out to the early birds. So let's get on in here, fam. Let's see what's going on. We got Chud the Butler, who have allegedly shot a man in Tennessee. Yeah. So let's see what's popping. What's up, family? If it's your first time checking out the show, let me know what city, what state you're coming in from. If you're outside of the U.S., let me know what country you represent. Throw up your flag. Family, I need you to smash up the like, smash up the like, smash up the likes. Also, if you have not done so already on YouTube after you subscribe, there's a little bell next to your subscribe button. Go ahead and click that thing right now so you can get your notifications each time I drop a new video like this. That way you be in the loop. So, family, we got this dude named Chud the Builder, right? This guy goes around just harassing black folks, calling them the N-word, and he likes to use terms like chimping out and stuff like that, right? I think I said Chad the Butler earlier, but it's Chud the Builder, right? So this dude is a menace, and so he goes around harassing black folks, calling them the N-word, trying to provoke them really into doing something to him so he can have a reason to shoot him or get him locked up. Well, this dude just got himself in a heap of trouble. Allegedly, he just shot someone. He just shot someone and he's been arrested. So him being arrested would be indicative of him being in the wrong. But we'll see how that goes. The fact that he is allowed to walk around threatening people all the time and calling them out of their names, uh, you have to say to yourself, if he was a black dude, would he be able to get away with that? The reason why Chud can get away with that type of thing is because the police allow him to. If it was a black guy, they shut him down immediately, right? But because this dude got that so-called complexion for the connection or the protection, he gets away with it. What I don't understand is, let me see how I can say this in a way where it won't get my video struck or flagged or. What I don't understand is, how is it that these black dudes in all of these cities and states and towns, municipalities, all over the United States of America, can be so active, they can become so active when they have an issue with one another. But when it comes to certain people, they hold their nuts. See, me, I can't understand that because in my mind, people are people. In my mind, an enemy is an enemy. In my mind, if you violate, you get violated. I don't understand selective outrage. I don't understand selective vengeance. I don't understand that. I cannot understand that. I don't understand distinguishing police officer from a bus driver or a restaurant dishwasher or a dude that's unemployed. A violator is a violator. That's all I know. So if you violate, it don't matter what you do. Nothing can save you. And I mean nothing. No laws can save you. That's the way I think. That is the way I think. I don't believe that because somebody does something that other people value as great or special, that they're more special than me or my family and friends and loved ones. I don't think that another person's life is more valuable than mine. I don't give a damn who they are. I don't care how the public treats them. I don't care what the public thinks of them. In my mind, no life is more valuable than my life. No life is more valuable than my children's life, my loved one's life. I don't care what you do. Somehow, some way, in this society that we live in, we've been programmed to elevate others to higher levels and standards than we elevate ourselves. That's just something that I just cannot fathom. I don't understand that. I don't understand that way of thinking. I do not understand that way of living. I will never understand that way of thinking. I will never understand that way of living, ever. This dude, Chud the Builder, is a troublemaker. He goes around and he purposely starts beef with people, trying to trigger them, trying to get them to react in hopes of taking them off their square. I don't understand why nobody has already not dealt with him. I do not understand that. Because I know if it was a black dude walking around doing the exact same thing, antagonizing black people, those same black people who've been letting him slide would have checked him by now. And I ain't talking about with words. They would have already punished him. They would have punished him day one. He wouldn't have been able to continue to do what he's doing at a rate where he's becoming so popular that even I'm talking about this dude. CNN is talking about him. He wouldn't have gotten that far if he was black. Black people wouldn't have allowed him to get that far. So to all you black people out there who have encountered him and gave him a pass, and all you did was talk a little noise. That's all you did was talk. What makes you think that way? What makes you elevate someone who doesn't look like you to a higher standard? I don't get that. Because I don't necessarily have to elevate somebody to a higher standard just because they look like me. But I'm damn sure I'm not going to elevate someone to a higher standard because they don't look like me. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? If Chud the Butler or Chud the Builder was white or was black, he would have been popular for about one day, and then he would be dead or in jail. But because he is white, the white police officers have allowed him, the system has allowed him to go around and harass people unchecked. This is one of them situations, in my opinion. Let me be careful with my words. I got to be careful right here. I got to be really, really careful right here. So I'm going to be really, really careful. Let me see how to say this. So Chud the Butler going around antagonizing black folks, provoking black folks, trying to get a rise out of them, trying to get them to say something or do something so he can continue to go viral. It is extremely dangerous, but only if he's dealing with people who are principled. You got to be principled to not allow a Chud the Builder to exist. You got to be principled. And it don't matter what your race is. You got to be principled to not allow that dude to walk around in your neighborhood or even accost you and speak to you in a degrading manner. Because you wouldn't let anybody else do that. You wouldn't let anybody else do that. I know for a fact that if Chud the Builder did something like that in my neighborhood in Fifth Ward, I can't speak for the whole city. But I can tell you in the neighborhood that I'm from, if Chud the Builder did that, Chud the Builder would get destroyed. Because there are people that live in that neighborhood to this day. In their minds, they have nothing to lose. They don't even know how special they are. They don't even understand their greatness. And because of that, they will crash out on him. He wouldn't get away with that. Not one. Look, fam, that would be a blight on the entire neighborhood. He couldn't get away with that. He wouldn't be able to get away with that. How is he getting away with that in Nashville? And I thought, who was that? LeBron just recently went viral for big upping Nashville over Memphis. I know he wouldn't get away with that in Memphis. So I guess that's the trade-off. I guess the trade-off is move the NBA team to Memphis for great accommodations, but at the same time, you have to deal with people who think that they are special and above you as a human being. Chud the Butler, or Chud, I keep saying Butler. Chud the Builder, he should have. I can't believe this dude has been around this long. I can't believe that he's still walking around doing the things he's doing. I saw one video of these black guys. It looked like they were at some type of supermarket. Not supermarket, but some type of convenience store. They were in front of some type of convenience store, and they were just talking. He was like calling him chimp. Yeah, what are you gonna do? Chimp out? You chimp out? You chimp out? The N word, hitting him with the N word. Chimp out, chimp out. And all they were saying was like, F you. You're saying the name, you're saying the C word and all this stuff. All they was doing was talking. They're doing too much talking. Way too much talking. Stop talking. Stop doing all that talking. It's too much attention. It takes too much time. Just do what you're going to do. Stop telling people what you're going to do and just do it. You have never seen me make threats on the internet. Why? People that make threats on the internet are making threats. There's going to be two outcomes. There's either going to be a situation where they're making a threat and They're just talking, or they're going to make a threat and they're going to do something and provide law enforcement with all of the information they need to convict them. Neither one makes sense to me. If you're going to do something, just do it. Whether you're just doing something to make contact or whether you're doing something to build your legacy. Stop talking about what you're going to do and do it. That's right. That's right. Who said that? Scott, don't talk about it. Be about it. Don't talk about it. Be about it. Ain't no way a Chud the Builder could come across a 1985, 1990, 1988 Willie D. Even if he didn't say anything to me, if I knew his reputation, I wouldn't even wait for him to get off. If I knew his reputation and I came across him, oh man, I'm finna dance. Yeah. And I ain't doing it just for me. I'm doing it for the ancestors. Yeah. I'm doing it for the ancestors. Y'all have no idea how much I love my ancestors. Y'all have no idea how much I revere my ancestors. You have no idea. You have no idea how much I love those people who made those extreme sacrifices. Some of them knew they were facing imminent death, and they still marched on. And let's not talk about the ones who put the work in, because they like to make you think that everybody just sat back and took it. There was a lot of revolting going on. A lot of revolting going on. There was a lot of resistance. There was a lot of get back, vengeance. They don't want you to know about that part. They only want you to know about the part where it's black on black vengeance. They only want you to know about that. They only highlight that part. They only want to highlight that. That's it. That was a lot of get back. I'm talking about get back. They don't want to talk about that. Nate Parker was doing God's work when he put out Birth of a Nation, one of the greatest movies ever produced. If you have not seen Birth of a Nation, you are doing yourself an injustice. If you've watched other movies and you haven't watched Birth of a Nation by Nate Parker, you might as well start watching movies. You ain't seen nothing till you watch that movie. If you call yourself a writer, a provider, a stand-up person, somebody that understands their history and know where they've been because they know where they're going, if you consider yourself somebody that's in the know and you haven't watched Birth of a Nation, you need to shut up. Stop talking. Don't ever comment on a video again. Don't ever jump on social media and chime in on any social events until you watch Birth of a Nation. Birth of a Nation was such a great film that they tried to bury it. tried to bury it, fam. Birth of a Nation showed black folks. Birth of a Nation showed black folks that they did not have to just take it. Birth of a Nation showed black folks that, hey, yo. So it was people out there that was fighting back. There were people out there that didn't just bend over and take it. There were people out there that were actually riding and just going for what they knew. There were people out there doing it. Birth of a Nation is easily one of the greatest films of all time. It's not just the story center. If you're into cinematography, if you're into sound, if you're into acting, character, wardrobe, style, everything about that film, it was one of the most perfect films I've ever watched. Perfect. If you haven't seen that film, you cannot consider yourself a movie buff. You cannot consider yourself a historian. You cannot consider yourself someone who is in the know. Shut up till you watch that film. Then come back to me. Then you can talk. They didn't like Birth of a Nation because Birth of a Nation illustrated that black people did not just lay back and take it. Didn't just bend over and take it. No, I'm not talking about Birth of a Nation 1920s. That was when the Ku Klux Klan was riding. That was Birth of a Nation when the Ku Klux Klan was riding after the Jack Johnson wins and stuff like that. They started riding. Now, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about Nate Parker. I'm talking about that film came out, what? It's 2026, maybe 2016 or something like that. I can't remember exact year. But yeah, Birth of a Nation, the most recent film. Okay, 2016. I hit it on the nail. I hit the nail on the head. 2016. Do you know that they were so cynical and dead set on stopping that movie from becoming a box office hit? They used many people in black media to destroy the film's chances of being successful. So they stopped it at the box office because that was a concerted hit. But they did not stop the historical impact of it. So over time, you'll watch it. Everybody will get a chance to watch that film at some point. It's one of the greatest films ever made. It showed black people that they don't have to just bend over and take it. It showed black people that not everybody just bent over and took it. It showed black people that, yo, it was some black people that decided to ride, and they did that, and they were successful. Yeah, that's the part they don't want you to know. Chud the Builder, this guy, I think this guy has a death wish. I can't. It's hard for me to believe that he's made it this long, that he's survived this long with his antics. It's hard to believe that he's been able to survive this long with his antics. There are certain places that see, that's the thing. They know who to mess with and who not. They know their beans from their cornbread. They know what type of people to mess with. You ever see those Karens? They always seem to get the right kind of black person, right? They don't mess with certain black people because they already know it's going to be different. I have never had one of those situations where one of them tried me. Perhaps they looked, they could, maybe they got a sixth sense, but they know that, oh, he don't look like the type that you can try. He don't seem to be the friendly type. Maybe it's some kind of way that they carry themselves, where they look like they're meek and docile, where they look like they're vulnerable. Maybe that's something got something to do. I don't know. Maybe I ain't got that type of disposition or something, so I ain't never had to deal with that type of energy. I do know that bullies like Chud the Builder like easy targets. They're gonna choose the path of least resistance. They're gonna go around black people and say the things that they say who they around the type of black people who they believe that are friendly. They're not gonna come in contact with the type like me. And I want to be clear, fam. I'm a good dude. I really am. I just don't like the nonsense. So the nonsense make me become it'll make me become somebody different. So because that's where I came from. I came from an era of and a place of misunderstanding. I came from a place where it's whatever. I came from a place where if it's going down, let's get it over with. I came from that type of place where I will be respected one way or the other, but I will be respected. I came from that place. I didn't come from the sucker generation. So I seek peace because conflict is costly. I've said it before on this channel. I like to fight. I don't mind fighting. I'm a real good shooter. I'm an expert. If y'all seen me shooting, y'all would be like, damn, man, it seems like the army could use you. I'm that type of shot. I got that kind of shooting ability. But I understand. I don't get involved in a lot of ignorant shit because I understand that conflict is costly. Even if you win, you might lose. I understand that. So I try to avoid conflict. And I won't engage. So if you ever find out, if you ever turn on the news or whatever, and you see something about Willie D did this or that, or he got caught up in this or that, just know that I was not the aggressor. Just know that they had to be messing with me. They had to have started it, because I ain't gonna start nothing. I'm not starting nothing. I ain't that bold. I'm not gonna start nothing. I'm not that disrespectful. I'm not disrespectful at all. I respect babies. I'm not disrespectful at all. So just know, if I have a problem, if somebody has a problem with me, it's them. It ain't me. Because I mind my business. Because I already know that the way this world is, you ain't gotta start nothing. You ain't gotta go and be aggressive about anything. You don't have to try to find trouble. Trouble will find you. So I'd rather sit back. Well, I don't sit back. I handle my business. I go out about my business. I building my legacy. I'm taking care of business. I'm looking out for family. I'm enjoying family and friends, and I'm taking care of business, and I'm providing uh, information and instructions to you guys on a daily basis to help you navigate through this wild, crazy, beautiful world. That's what I do. I don't. Anything else is beneath me. So if I find myself backed up against a wall where I have to get down, just know that give me the benefit of doubt that they was probably fucking with me, because I ain't gonna be just messing with nobody off the rip. They gotta be messing with me or mine. That's the only thing. That's the only way that I would just get off. Because again, conflict is costly. And any real dude out there that know that, any real cat know that for real, conflict is costly. So real cats gonna try to avoid conflict. See, the internet got people so messed up that they believe that a real dude is the dude that's aggressive and looking for conflict. That ain't real. That's a dummy. That's a clown. That's a fool. The real cats are the ones that are trying to avoid going to prison. The real cats are the ones who ain't never been to prison. The real cats are the ones who take care of their families, who take care of their kids, who honor their relationships, who respect their mother, who respect their fathers, who look out for their siblings, who build their communities, not destroy their communities. That's the real dude. All these other dudes are clowns and fakes, misunderstood. These other dudes, and listen, I was a clown and a fake at one point, so I can say this because I was unlearned. I didn't know any better. So that's why I can say what I'm saying. I've been there. I'm not telling you what I heard, I'm telling you what I know. So when I see somebody like Chud the Builder walking around day after day after day, accosting black folks, calling them the N-word, calling them chimps and all that kind of stuff, and he's still getting to go to sleep peacefully, he getting to walk off the same way he came in one piece. He's getting to disrespect you, your wife, your mama, your daddy, and you letting them make it. I don't respect that at all. I don't care all that talking. It's no time for talking. Put them cameras up and go to work. Turn those damn cameras off and go to work. If he got somebody filming him, handle that and go to work. Can y'all hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Okay, cool. All right, cool. Yeah. So what I want to, I'm gonna get back to it. Let's get back to it. What I'm saying is, how is it that we see all of this violence in every major city in America? Nashville, Tennessee is a major city. Nashville is a major city. Every major city, we see a bunch of violence. We see a bunch of black on black violence in every major city. We see other violence also, but I'm talking about specifically black on black violence. How is we see all of that violence for little things, insignificant stuff, trivial stuff, and y'all letting this dude walk around arbitrarily calling black folks the N-word and telling them they're chimping out and telling you and threatening you and telling you ain't gonna do nothing. How are you letting this dude do that? How are you allowing him to do that? Don't tell me nothing about the police and how you care about the police and, oh, he the police, he working with the police. You don't care nothing about that when you're dealing with black folks. You don't care nothing about going to jail when you're dealing with black folks. You don't care nothing about going to the cemetery when you're dealing with black folks. What the hell is wrong with some of y'all? And on top of that, white folks, I ain't letting y'all off the hook. What's wrong with y'all? Now, to y'all credit, I have seen a few white people check him. I have seen a few white people check him. Like, we don't want you here. You are bad for community. We don't like you. Get out of our city. Salute to the white folks who said that, who about that. Hey man, that's what it's gonna take. But the rest of y'all, especially the ones who try to tell black folks all the time that it ain't about race. He is your problem. He make y'all look bad. What are y'all doing about it? What are y'all doing to stop him from walking around antagonizing people and adding to the stereotype of racist white folks? What are y'all doing about it? It is incumbent upon you. If you care about your race that much and how you're represented, if you care that much about your image, you should be trying to eliminate guys like Chud the Builder. You should be trying to destroy somebody like him. What are you doing about him? That's your problem. He's representing your group. What are you doing about it? If you step up and you shut him down, that would go a long way in your argument about equity and inclusion and race baiting and all that stuff being overrated and over exaggerated. If you're just not joining, fam, we're having a discussion here about Chud the Builder, who has been arrested for shooting a man. There's not much details to this, but he was arrested for shooting a man in Nashville, Tennessee. This is the guy who walks around calling black people, arbitrarily calling black people the N-word and tell them that they're chimping out, threatening to shoot them and all kinds of stuff. So he has shot a man and he's been arrested. With all of what's going on in this country and with so many innocent people getting their heads knocked off, how is somebody who is basically a crud to society, how is this dude able to still be getting up in the mornings every night and being able to go to sleep? How is that possible? Somebody said, ask the Democrats. Okay, I'm gonna ask the Democrats, but I'm smart enough to also ask the Republicans because I ain't that stupid. I know that Democrat, Republican, everything that has happened in this country, negatively or positively, has happened on either the Democrats' watch or the Republicans' watch. If it happened on the Democrats' watch, the Republicans watched it happen. If it happened on the Republicans' watch, the Democrats watched it happen. Every single thing every single atrocity that has ever happened in this country has happened either on the Democrats' watch or the Republicans' watch. So that's what you need to start getting used to and stop being blinded to partisan politics. Stop being blinded to identity politics. Start looking at things for what they are. You got Republicans who claim to be the party of family values. But almost every day I look up and I see a Republican being charged with playing with little girls or little boys almost daily. And it's not just any Republican. These are sometimes elected officials, oftentimes elected officials who claim to be the party of family values, but they're out here playing with little boys and little girls, violating little boys and little girls. You got Democrats out here every day who claim to be the party of the poor. They're here for the poor, to defend the poor. But every day you see them stuffing their pockets with money where certain entities have taken advantage of the poor. The Democrats are getting money off those prisons for profit, those private prisons, just like Republicans are getting money off those private prisons. The Democrats are underfunding schools, especially schools in low-income areas, just like the Republicans are doing. This is not good cop, bad cop, fam. These are two bad cops. One is just badder than the other. Or for you people that went to school, one is worse than the other. That's it. But they both are bad. Yes, you cannot, you absolutely, who said that? Let me see who said that. Oh, I can't see that name. It's kind of small there. What is it name? It's hard to read the name. But anyway, somebody said you can't count on a politician. Yeah, you can't count on politicians. You should never count on politicians. You got to count on yourself. Don't count on anybody. Count on yourself. You know, count on yourself because that's the type of country we're in. I did a report earlier today where I talked about how there have been an influx of Americans leaving the country for the first time uh, since the 1920s, since the Great Depression. More not black people, but more Americans are leaving the country. Way more Americans. There's been a mass exodus of Americans leaving the country for good. The country's in a bad shape. We voted, well, I didn't, but some of y'all did, voted for a guy who is a 34-time felon, a convicted civil uh, sexual predator, a guy who unjustly started a war, a guy who is involved, who has been accused, at least, of being involved in one of the greatest sexual scandals in the history of the United States, involving little girls. People in this country voted for him. And there are people in this country right now who are supporting him right now. But they claim to be people who care about little girls, and they care about the safety of women, and they care about survivors, victims of sexual assault, but they support this guy. Make it make sense. You can't. You can't. That just tells me you ain't about nothing if you support him. That just lets me know you're not about nothing. That's what that tells me. Tells me you can be bought. Black man voted for him. Black man, what? How many? Black men, yes, some black men. To say black men voted for him, that's inaccurate, because we're not a monolith. That's inaccurate. About 12% of black men voted for him. That's it. The other 88% did not vote for him. Say that. That's, to me, is stronger than the 12% who voted for him. That should be your focus. 88% of black men did not vote for him. That should be your focus. To say that black men voted for him is disingenuous when most black men did not vote for him. That would be like throwing black men under the bus. Yeah, black man, black man, black man. Most of us did not vote for him. So why don't you say most black men didn't vote for him instead of saying black men voted for him? I know you're tight. I know what you're doing. I see you. You ain't fooling nobody. Try again. Chud the Butler is going to get his wake-up call. If he's in the county jail and he's in population, he's in trouble. I can guarantee you, if they put him in population, he's in trouble. Absolutely in trouble. But I guarantee you, when he go to jail, he will not be in population. He is going to demand that he be in protective custody, because Chud the Butler is that type of dude. He's really soft. He's really not a solid dude like that. He really ain't gangster like that. What he's doing is he's hoping and praying that he continues. What happened is that he messed around and caught a viral video. He did something, it went viral, and he said, oh, they like this. Let me keep on doing it. Because they like this, let me keep on doing it. So he kept on doing it, and now he's damn near a household name for going around antagonizing black folks, calling them the N-word, and telling them that they're chimping out. So he's damn near a household name just for doing that. That goes to show you what kind of country we live in, where you don't have to really have talent to become famous. You can be a low frequency person. You can be someone who don't have any really particular set of talents, because anybody can be disrespectful. You can be disrespectful and belligerent. You can cater to the lowest nature and gain popularity. That's the country we live in. I thank God that I came up in a time where people had to have talent actually to become famous. You had to have real talent to be famous. You had to have talent. I thank God that I've seen that. And now I'm seeing something different. Now you can be the lowest of the low. You can be told 100% low frequency, no skill at anything except being disrespectful. And anybody can be disrespectful. But here's the trick. Here's the trick right here. Can you continue to be disrespectful to get your money? Because that's why they're doing it. Be disrespectful and get that money, get that attention, and walk around here without looking over your back, looking over your shoulders. Can you do that? Because a whole lot, don't get it twisted, a whole lot of them, they can't put their name on flyers. They can't go anywhere without a mob of security. Because if they do, they're going to get their heads beat in for that disrespect. So a lot of them, you see them being disrespectful, and you see them getting a lot of views, but you don't see what's happening behind scenes, where they got to pay all that extra money for security because they're going around here making enemies with everybody. You don't see that part. You don't see the part where they can't just go somewhere by themselves. And they can't even just go to the grocery store by themselves. Because they might just run into somebody who they was disrespectful to and get their heads beat in. You don't see that part. Chud the Butler, the builder, it's not going to end well for him. It's just not. But at the same time, who knows? Perhaps Chud didn't expect to live this long. So for somebody who didn't expect to live this long, every single day is icing on the cake. No matter what he does, in his mind, he feel like he already won. Maybe that's his mentality. Maybe that's where he's coming from with it. Maybe that's why he's so disrespectful. Because if he keeps it up, eventually, if Nashville ain't got no real hitters out there, if they ain't got somebody who's gonna check them, eventually somebody's gonna make a trip to Nashville. There's always somebody willing to go there. There's always somebody who ain't afraid of you. There's always somebody. There's always somebody that will check you. Everybody ain't scared. The way that Chud the Builder walks around Nashville being disrespectful, you can't tell. It really makes Nashville look weak. Not just the blacks, but it makes the whites look weak too. Because all you white folks in Nashville who say that you're different and you're in the South, but you're not of the South. You're not like that. Some of these Southerners who are stuck in the past and backwoods Confederates, you say that ain't you. But what are you doing about this dude? Nothing. All you black dudes out there who say you about it, you real, you solid. What are you doing about it? Nothing. So I don't believe you. I do not believe you. I don't believe that you're solid. I don't believe you're real. I don't believe you love your city. I don't believe you have any real pride. I don't believe you are not like the rest of them. I don't believe that you really dislike this guy and he's not representative of who you are as a race. I don't believe you.
Because you have your opportunity. When you had the opportunity to do something about it, you haven't done anything about it. You didn't do anything about it. And you're not doing anything about it. So I don't believe you. Again, salute to that one dude. I seen a couple dudes actually. It was one dude, like a middle-aged looking dude, had a big belly, he had a pot belly, and he was telling dudes straight up. He told Chud the Builder, "We don't like you. We don't want you around here. Get away." He's something of that nature. He was telling, "Get away. We don't." A white dude with a pot belly. He was like, "We don't." Middle age. He's like, We don't want you here. You don't represent us. We don't like you. Get away from here." Salute to that dude. Yeah. I ain't got no problem with that, man. That's how you do it. Action speaks louder than words. Yeah. Don't tell me you ain't a racist. Show me you ain't a racist. Don't tell me you don't approve of racist behavior. Show me. And Buddy showed me. He showed me that he didn't approve of it. I respect that. I respect that 1,000. I respect that. As soon as I get more information about Chud the Butler, the Builder, when I get more information about him, I figure out who exactly did he shoot and why he shot him, what was going on. I'll let you know. But absolutely stay tuned because I am going to provide you the update as soon as I get it. As soon as I find out what's going on with this dude, I will let you know. Let me get some shots. I see China Carter. What's up, China? I see Matt Queen. What's up, Matt Queen? Carlos. Carlos Jones. What's up? Yeah. What's up, Jay? Yeah, this Chud the Butler dude, he allegedly shot somebody. Not allegedly, they say he shot somebody. So the Chud the Butler dude shot somebody. He's been anxious. He's been actually itching to shoot somebody. He's been going around talking about how he'll shoot somebody. And what I don't like is when these black dudes argue with him. I don't like all that calling him names and all. Man, all that name calling, man, that's kitty stuff. That's exactly what he's doing, name calling. I don't like all that name calling and all that stuff. Do something. What you gonna do? Because name calling ain't an action. That's not an action. That's just talk. That's just running your mouth. What you gonna do about it? A lot of these dudes, I saw this dude, Chud the Builder, walk up on a whole group of black dudes by himself. I don't know if the cameraman was white or whoever the cameraman was. He probably had a black cameraman because they got coconuts everywhere. This dude walked up to a whole group of black dudes at a gas station and called them all kinds of names, and they didn't do nothing. They didn't do nothing but hurl insults back at him. That's it. I didn't even know those type of dudes existed until I got on the internet, because I never seen nothing like that in my neighborhood. In the neighborhood I grew up in, even the young G's, the youngsters, I'm talking about from from 13, 14, 15, we got active. Nobody came in our neighborhood and got disrespectful without getting dealt with. Nobody. Nobody could come in our neighborhood and be that disrespectful and be disrespectful, period, and get away with it. Nobody. So I don't know where these dudes come from. I don't even know how they was made, how they was built. They must have been built in a laboratory or something. But that's never happened in my neighborhood. Never. And to this day, it could not happen. If you ain't got nothing else, I think the pride that we had helped a lot of us survive. It's absolutely got some of us killed. But I think for the ones who made it, that pride was something that we relied on. That pride was a sixth sense. It was a sixth sense, so to speak. That pride is, you know, pride properly administered is a good thing. They say pride comes before the fall. But when pride is, if you can figure out a way how to balance your pride, that's a good thing. We never allow somebody to come into our neighborhood and be disrespectful. Period. It don't matter what you was talking about. It don't matter what was going on. You could not come into our neighborhood and be disrespectful. It was not happening. You was gonna get dealt with. Point blank, period. You was getting dealt with. These dudes today, I saw this dude, Chud the Builder, call some black dudes the N-word to their face, and they was just laughing like, hey man, we F with you. We F with you. Hey man, hey, let's take a picture. I saw some black chicks. It's like 3 or 4 of them. Chud, hey, yeah, what's up? Hey man, we fuck with you. Yeah. We like you, man. Hey, we take a picture with him. Let's take a picture. Who raised them? Where they come from? How did they get here? They had to be made in a lab. Cause ain't no way, fam. Ain't no way. It's like taking a picture with Donald Trump. I don't care that he's the president of the United States. I don't care to take a picture with Donald Trump. You'll never see me in a picture with Donald Trump. I would never allow him to use me like that. I know how he feel about black people. He do not care about black. Somebody just asked him today, what did he think about all of the black political candidates that are losing their seats? And he said something along the lines of, the process is going well. I know this dude don't care nothing about black folks. Why would I take a picture with him? Oh, because he's the president of the United States and people going to get excited if they see me taking a picture with the president of the United States. Yeah, it's cool that you're the president of the United States, but what kind of person are you? It's cool that you own your own diamond store, but what kind of person are you? It's cool that you are the chief of police, but what kind of person are you? It's cool that you are the director of a top medical facility in the world. But what kind of person are you, man? What kind of person are you? You run the dealership, you're the owner. But what kind of person are you? You're a big time rapper. You're a movie star. But what kind of person are you? That's what's important to me. That's what I want to know. What kind of person are you? Nah, I'm not going. I'm not going to do it. I wouldn't stoop that low. I think for anybody who don't have a picture with Donald Trump, who uh, is against what he stands for, I think that person right there, that's the person I want to take a picture with. That's the person who's about something to me. I'd rather take a picture with that person. You're just not joining, fam. Chud the Builder has been arrested for shooting a man in Nashville, Tennessee. This has been a long time coming because he has been antagonizing, specifically the black people, going around calling them chimps, calling them monkeys, calling them the N-word. He just recently got arrested for not paying his bill at a restaurant. He's a really arrogant dude. A woman just put him on blast also. A trans woman just put him on blast for sucking her up. Yeah, sucking her up. He just got put on blast for sucking up a trans. You know, getting pegged by a trans. Now that makes sense. That would explain why he has the type of energy that he has. The dude is messed up in the head for real. He messed all up. And so now he's locked up. He's in jail. We don't know what the charges are, but they say he's been arrested for shooting someone. So we don't know what the exact charges are. Let me put it like that. But a trans just came out like yesterday or 2 days ago, exposing him. And this trans, and I believe the trans because the trans walked up to him and said, "Hey, I know you. You know, we used to kick it back in the day and da 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 da." And he tried to blow it off. And then he said something about how when people started talking about how he messed with this black, the trans was black. And when people started talking about how he was a hypocrite for messing around with this black person, with this black woman, they thought it was just a regular black woman. So people started saying that he was a hypocrite for messing around with this black woman. He, in trying to make himself look good, called himself disparaging the black woman or the black woman by saying that, "Oh, she just sucked me up," and da 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 da. That made the trans person come out and give his side of the story and say, "No, no, 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 no. Let me tell you the truth. Since he put it out there, I wasn't going to say anything. But since he put it out there, yeah, I used to be with Chud the Builder, and Chud the Builder likes up the butt. He taking it up the ass the whole time while he talking all this chimp stuff and N-word stuff. He taking it up the ass. Chud the Builder. Yeah. Chud the Builder getting bust down by a trans woman, sucking it up. But he got the nerve to run around and call black folks chimps and the N-word. This makes a lot of sense because a lot of them, you know what I figured out, fam? Because a lot of them are confused about their sexuality and they can't really come out and say exactly what they are, that the anger propels them or compels them to behave in a barbaric, uncivilized manner. So they tend to think the worst of others because they're projecting. That's where they come from. They're projecting their fears. It's like they're fighting it. They keep fighting it. That's why they're so angry. Look at all these Republicans keep on getting popped every single, almost daily. We see another Republican getting caught up in a sex scandal with little children. But they're supposed to be the party of the family. They're supposed to be the party of family values. But almost every day, a new political Republican is caught up in some type of sex scandal involving children. They're not even getting caught up in regular sex scandals. They're getting caught up with little children. But they're the party of family values. Look at Trump. He's the head. And he's involved in the biggest sex scandal involving little children in the history of the United States. That's their leader. So they say one thing, but exhibit another. Make it make sense. That's my time, fam. I appreciate y'all joining the live. Until next time, enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. No more talk.